We appreciate you being here, since this program is optional and discusses best practices for your consideration. If you were thinking of adopting any of them, please make sure to review the requirements in your area/region with your broker, branch manager, or manager, including those related to contacting consumers. We do want to highlight the importance of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, better known as TCPA. The general rules are that it's okay to call people if the person recently gave you their phone number, but remember to check the DNC list regularly if they haven't spoken to that person in a while. You will also want to check the DNC list anytime you don't have permission. Automated calling/texting platforms should never be used. Pre-recorded messages and artificial voices should never be used. You will be personally liable for any violations of the TCPA. We'll mention the TCPA a few times throughout this presentation.
Hello everybody, and welcome to today's demonstration on how to create a quarterly report using Prospect Square. Starting off at the home screen, we're going to go ahead, take our cursor, move it on over to the left-hand side where it says Reports, hit the drop-down, and then select Quarterly Report. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't have this menu on the left-hand side, that's perfectly okay. Just take your cursor, move on over to the top left of your screen, and hit the 3 lines in the top left. From there, we'll get that same drop-down menu, and now we can go ahead and select Quarterly Report. Now, from here, I'm going to go ahead and minimize our menu so we have a little bit more room to work within. I'm going to go ahead and select the blue New button. Now from here, for our report name, I'm just going to do Orange County Quarterly Report. And I think this is a good time to talk about the quarterly reports within Prospect Square. What are they? These are reports that are going to be taking a look at a county every quarter. And the great thing about these quarterly reports, right, is that they're automatic. They go out at the conclusion of every quarter, typically about a week or two after the completion of one. And then this way, you don't really have to think about, oh, it's time to send that quarterly report again. It just does it on its own. Go ahead and type in myself. Now you can also use this for a group as well. So if I go ahead and select browse, right, we'll have context here, but I can also go ahead and search for a group. And you can see I've got my campaign groups here. So I can select the 80s group, hit search, and then I can pick anybody from that 80s group. So I can go ahead, I can select okay, and then go ahead and select everybody within that group. Now, if your group has multiple pages worth, you would just click this box here in the top left next to the first name and just keep going through the different pages. In this case, I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to keep myself here. So then the market area, right? This is going to show you what counties you can pull. And this is just going to be dependent on your office. So in my instance, right, I have Orange County. So I can just type in Orange County. If I have multiple counties available to me, I can always just go ahead and hit the browse just to see what's available. Okay. If I go ahead and select copy agent on report, that means I will be copied onto each report that I send. So if you're just sending it out to one person, perfectly fine to copy yourself on there. But if you're sending multiple reports, so again, maybe I'm sending it out to that entire 80s group that I showcased before. If there's 9 folks there, that means I'm getting 9 different emails once that report goes out. So it's a great way to clutter the inbox very quickly. So I would recommend against doing that. The reason we do this is because anytime that maybe a client's focus changes, you can change that report without having to change it for everybody else or start a new one. Report enabled. This is essentially if you have it selected as yes, it goes out right away. If you select no, it essentially saves it as a draft. And the really neat thing about Prospect Square is that it has our black circles with the white question mark boxes right next to them. So if you ever have a question about what something might be, you can just hover your cursor over that initial email subject line, right? And then what the follow-up subject line is going to be. We also have our report image. So if you do want to change what this default image looks like, you can. You can just go ahead and select browse and go through the different photos. Okay. I can go ahead, select preview, and then I can watch our preview populate in. Now at the top, we will see our cover image. We'll see the salutation down here for our contact. And then you'll see the intro text for the report. Then as we scroll down, you will see a couple of different options as well. The availability to put this out into a PDF. So maybe you're using this for an open house. If you want to view this in a browser, you can do that too. You can quickly share your reports on social media as well. And again, as we talk about creating content to establish yourself as a neighborhood expert, this is a great way to do that as well. If I do select that option, you can see that there's a lot of different platforms that we can quickly share this on. If I click Facebook, the great thing is that it already creates this nice preview image for us, and then we can go ahead and type our caption in. Now for the clients, right, they can also select contact the agent, or they can forward this to a friend that they know. With that said, for each agent, right, we'll have our signature block here with email, website, phone number, social media platforms, whatever you want to have in there. Okay. And then as we move down, right, now it's just taking a look at the quarterly reports, taking a look at this year versus last year and how those statistics look. And then as you scroll a little bit further down, right, we can see the different cities within Orange County. And the really nice thing, though, right, and this is a lot of great information, so for those folks who love stats and graphs, they're in good shape. At the bottom of the report, you'll see all the different towns and cities within Orange County, so that this way, if somebody just wants to look at them isolated, they can do that by either selecting the quarterly report, again, just looking at the last quarter, or they can even look at it from a monthly perspective as well. Once I'm done looking over everything, I can go ahead, I'll select the X here in our top right corner. Once I'm good with everything here from the quarterly report, I can go ahead, I can hit save and send. And you can see here it's processing, will be emailed to your recipients shortly. It'll be automatically sent when updated, which again, every 3 months. Okay, all right, so we have our contact, we have our report name. Now, if you're sending this out to multiple contacts, you'll see multiple lines of that report come down here. If you ever need to resend that report, you can do that by selecting the envelope. If you ever want to preview the report, you can go ahead and select this paper icon here. If you need to delete it, you can do that too. And then if you need to edit this for whatever reason, right, we talked about maybe you have multiple counties within your access here, then maybe you have a client that moves from, say, Orange County to Santa Barbara County, something like that, where then maybe you want to switch the counties. So just one thing to note there for your particular clients. And with that said, that is today's quick tip on how to create a quarterly report within Prospect Square.